Okay, so welcome back to scheduling future Linux tasks, which is actually another topic or another topic on chapter 2. And for this case, we are talking about Red Hat Enterprise Linux 2. The code is RH135. So in this case, we need to understand what are these tasks or what are these jobs in essence, and how do we schedule them? Now, remember, when we talk about jobs in this case is that we are only trying to set or to schedule future tasks or future activities. You see, for example, as far as you're using the Red Hat or the Linux operating system, and you feel like you want to schedule, let's say, an activity that will happen in the next 2 minutes, in the next 1 minute, in the next 4 days, in the next 1 month, in the next year, you have to use something called, you have to schedule, because this particular operating system has an option. It has actually a commands and even configuration files that are attached to setting or to scheduling those jobs. So for this case, when we talk about a job or we talk about a task, is actually an activity or trying to make a schedule in the near future. So if you want, for example, you want to say, or let's say, for example, you are in a company and you are attached to an operating system which is based on Linux, and you are asked that, let's say by your senior staff or your supervisor or your manager, that you're supposed to send these particular emails to all the employees in the company tomorrow, or even after 4 days, or after 1 week, or after 1 month. How do you do that? Because when it comes to scheduling one at a time, then it's a little bit tedious. But with the option of using the Linux operating system, you have that that option of actually scheduling these jobs. So you can make sure, or you can ensure that these emails are sent either tomorrow, they are sent after 2 days or 3 days, but you have to do what? You have to schedule them now. So you have to specify, as long as you're trying to ensure that an activity will happen in the next 1 minute, 2 minutes, that already is a feature in Linux operating system. So how do we go about this? How do we do this? So for this case, I'm giving you like 3 types. So we have like 3 types of jobs. Or even 2 types, if I may say so. We have those jobs that only happen once, or those jobs that can be scheduled jobs that can be scheduled only once. We also have those jobs that can be scheduled on a recurrent basis, or we can call them recurring jobs. And then, of course, we have the predefined jobs. These are attached to the system. So for our case, I will only show you the configuration files related to predefined jobs. And we're going to do practically, we're going to have it practically on those jobs that are being scheduled only once, and those jobs that are being scheduled on a recurring basis. So recurring jobs means what? Or recurring tasks means what? It means that these are jobs that happen. Let's say every 2 months a job or a task is being executed, or a job is being executed. Those are referred to as recurring jobs. For the predefined jobs, these are those jobs that happen either monthly, those can happen hourly, daily, yearly. Those are predefined jobs, and they are system related. For the schedule, or those jobs that are only scheduled once, is we are actually using a different command. You see, what brings the differences between those jobs that are scheduled once and those that are scheduled on a recurring basis is based on the commands used. For example, those jobs that are scheduled only once, we can use a command called AT command. Those that are scheduled on a recurring basis, we have a command called what? Cron tab, or we have cron. So having said this, how do we start here? So I want us to start from what? looking at jobs that are scheduled only once. Remember, all these jobs have to come in the near future. So what happens is, if I have, let's say, a job or an activity or a task that will happen after 1 minute, that already is a future to me. If I want those that happens, let's say after 2 minutes, after 2 minutes, then that is a job to me. So what happens is, when it comes to scheduling jobs that happen only once, we use the command called AT. And if you want to learn more about the AT command, you can just extend it with an -L and press enter. Of course, we are not getting any info here. So you can just say info and then use AT command. Now with this, you can get some information related to what? Related to this. So here we have this command AT. You can use ATQ, you can use ATRM. Now for AT, this is a command used to schedule a one-time or a job that happened only once. ATQ is used to list any available job or any scheduled job. And then ATRM is used to remove any scheduled job. So in this case, we have these options. You can use AT, you can use ATQ, you can use ATRM just to get rid of what? To get rid of the jobs. So let me just show you. The syntax is what? AT, and then you have to have time specification. You have to specify the time. So the time should come here. And then of course, it will now give you a point or an area where you're supposed to fill the jobs. So what happens is, when it comes to having a one-time job, for instance, if I want to schedule a one-time job, this job will happen, let's say, in the next 2 minutes. This job will happen in the next 2 minutes. And if it's happening in the next 2 minutes, I need to see, or I need to schedule. So how do I schedule this job? So what I will do is, I will just, so let me just do this a little bit. Okay, just bring it there, and then I will show you how it works. Yeah, so when it comes to this point, I need to say at now. So because this is the time. So look at this. My time is 14:32. My time is 14:32. So if I have to schedule anything that will come at 13:35. So how many minutes to 13:35? So the 3:35 minus the 3 is 2 minutes. So I can say at now plus 2 minutes. At now plus 2 minutes. It means that this job will be executed in the next 2 minutes. So if I press enter, I am being given warning, commands will be executed using the bin sh. This is a default shell. So let's say I want a command that after 2 minutes, I want this directory to be created. Now I'm giving the path where I need this directory to be created. So I need desktop, and the directory is what? Let's say the directory is USA. So my directory is USA. So I will just now, to save my job, I need to press Ctrl D. And if I can take you, let's say, to desktop, let's confirm first of all whether we have a directory. So if I press enter or try to list the contents, you can see that the desktop is empty. Why? Because this job or this folder has to be created after 2 minutes of my job. So let's wait and see what happens. Meanwhile, if you want to see it, let's say these scheduled jobs, you can use ATQ, and you can see that we have a lot of this. We have a lot of these jobs. So if you can clear my screen, and then let's say ls, not yet, ATQ, press that. All these are what? All these are my jobs. All these are my scheduled jobs. So we are waiting to see whether the job would create, or the tasks scheduled would create a folder, or to lead to a folder called USA to be created under what? Under desktop. This is what? This is scheduling a one-time job. So if I press confirm again, list the contents of desktop and press enter, you can see now that I have what? I have the command called, a directory called USA, which has been created by scheduling a job. So remember, I scheduled it to happen in the next 2 minutes. Now, let's go back again. Let's say it's now plus, let's say plus 1 minute. I want the command again to create for me mkdir. Let's say I want this to happen at RH8. It again to open at desktop. This time around, I want this folder USB. And then press enter and then Control D to save my work. Now, if I ls, now you can see already I have what? I have B, because I have scheduled this one-time job only once, and it will happen in the next, or it happened after 1 minute. So at now, when you talk about at now, you see, for example, my time is 14:36. When you talk about now, it means that you are pointing to the actual or the current time. Then after +1, it means that it will go to 37. At +2, it means that it will go to 38. So this is how to do what? This is how to schedule a job only once. Now, let's say you want to schedule, okay, let's say I want to check. So I'll say ATQ. Now you can see that I have these two jobs. Already these jobs happened. And if I want to remove, I'll just say ATRM, press enter. So I need to have, of course, let's say ATQ, and then I will just say ATRM, and then 1, press enter, and then number 4. So you see I'm using 1 and 4, press enter. Now, if I come back and say ATQ, now you can see that no more jobs are in the queue. So to check the queue of all the jobs that are being scheduled only once, or that happen only once, you have to use ATQ. For you to get rid, because you might have several jobs in queue, and each job must be attached with the ID. So like 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you want to get rid of only a specific job, then you need to do what? You need to use the ATRM and then followed by the ID. Now, so if you want even, let's say, a job that you want to happen, let's say at 5 p.m., let's say July 13th, 2022. You see, you can schedule this job. You can schedule this job. So if I press enter, you see, probably I need a file to be created. Let's say touch /, let's say home. I want to have, let's say, USA.txt. So in this case, it means what? It means that this job or this text file called USA would be created at 5 p.m. on July 13th, 2022. So how many months from now? So we still have like February, March, April, May, June, July. So at July 13th at 5 p.m., this particular file, USA, would be created under home. So that is how to schedule a one-time job. And from there, you can also talk about, let's say you want it at a specific date. You want it to happen, let's say, at 17th of December, 2022 at around 9 p.m. So you can schedule those jobs at that. So if you want to schedule a job only once, you have to use AT command. That is only for what? Those jobs or those tasks that are required to be scheduled only once. Now that brings me to the second part. How do we schedule recurring jobs or how do we schedule recurring tasks? So to schedule recurring tasks or to schedule recurring jobs, we need now to have a different view. So we have a command called cron. And then again, if you can just seek some help, of course, we do not have that. Let's say cron, of course, we have this. So cron D, normally we call it cron D, is a daemon that executes scheduled commands. And then, of course, we have a lot. Now, if you want to check the configuration files for all this, if you want to check the configuration files attached to what? Attached to this cron, you have to check this for VI etc. Let's say cron tab. So VI, that is, if you want to view any text file, /etc/cron tab. So if I press enter, you can see that we have what? We have all this info. Now, what happens here is that this is like a syntax to you, especially when it comes to creating what? Or scheduling recurring jobs. It's more like a syntax. So if you want to schedule, you have to abide by the rules. And these rules are catered here. For example, you have to start to specify what minute, how many minutes, or at what minutes will this task be done. If you do not need to have a minute, and you can put it 0 at 0 minutes. But 0 value should range between 0 to 59. Of course, we know that 1 hour are 60 minutes. So 0 to 59 equals to 60. So what happens is you start by specifying the minute. Secondly, you get to specify by the hour. So then you specify by the hour. So the hour value should be ranked between 0 to 23. Then after the hour is actually the day of the month. That should come between 1 to that one. On what day? Is it 05th or 50th day, 13th day, 26th day? And then after that, followed by the month. So we have between 1 to 12. Or you can just have Jan, Feb, March, April. That is in a three-letter abbreviation. And then you can end up at day of the week. So is it Monday, Tuesday? Remember, Sunday is the first day of the week based on this file. And then Saturday is actually the last day of the week. Or you can have SUN, MON, Tuesday, Wednesday. That is the day of the week in three-letter abbreviation. And then followed by the username, who is to execute this command, or which account will this command be executed, and then the command to be executed. So this is how you schedule recurring jobs. This is how you schedule recurring jobs. So let me show you how it's being done. So I will just open a new tab for my case. Now, in this case, I want to just check what is in the desktop for us to view. I want to get rid of everything here, RBF, and then star. So star means all. So I have removed what? I have removed USA as a directory. I have removed USB as a directory. So now, if you ls, now our desktop is what? Is blank. Now, the reason why I'm removing all those is just to avoid distractions, because those were jobs scheduled once, only once. So I want us to also schedule or to redirect jobs or tasks that are scheduled as recurring jobs. Now, when it comes to scheduling recurring jobs, or when we talk about recurring jobs, these are jobs that can reoccur. It occurs and then it reoccurs. It reoccurs every now and then. If I'm to schedule a job that will happen, let's say on the 5th day of July at 3 p.m., it will only happen on that date. And then it will go to the next year. It will also happen to the next date. And then you see, it keeps on happening. So how do we schedule this? So to schedule this, we need to have this file called crontab-e. So E for edit. So you are trying to do what? You're trying to define your own what? Your own task. Based on what? Based on this configuration file. So we have to follow that. Minutes should start, hour, day of the month, day of the week, and so on. So if I press enter, you can see that it's opening out. it's opening this. So how do we schedule? This one is a text file. So for you to use it, you have to press I for insert. Now we start by what? We start by minute. So I want it to we want first of all to check my default time. You see it is 14:45. So the minute is that I want it to happen at what? Let's say at 47. So I will have 47 and then give a space bar, just press space bar. That is the 47th minute. And then it happened at 14. So the hour is 14 based on my time. And you can see here. And then followed by what? Followed by the day of the month. So today is 26th day of the month. And then followed by the month, I will give it 01. So 01 is January. And then followed by the day of the week, which is actually 04 because it is Wednesday. And then who is the user? It is root because I'm operating as root. And then I want this to be created. I want this value to be created. So I want it to be, first of all, the uptime. So we can have USR, we can have bin, we can have uptime. That means real time. We can have real time. And then we can have what? So we need to have this recurring. So here it means that for me to get the uptime, you see, if I'm to add another tab, I can just issue which uptime. You see, it is actually bin, USR bin uptime. So we have the importance of uptime. And if you could, okay, let's see what happens here. Okay. So I want this to happen at home. I want it to happen at RH135. I want it to happen at desktop. And then I want us to have this file. So I want us to have, let's say, a folder called Rwanda. So already my time is up. You see, already my time is up. So it is 14:47. So I need to readjust this and put it what? Put it 48. Now let's save it. To save this file, I need to quit, press Control full colon, WQ, press enter. Now, if I come to ETQ and press that, you see already we have a job at Q. We have a job at Q. And if I list the contents of a desktop, you see nothing is there. Because why? Our job is not yet, the time is not yet up for our job to be executed. Now it is 14:48. Let's just go and LS. Now, although you can see that we have LS, I think there's an issue on the cron tab. So if we're to go back, let's see what happened. So I will just go back and say cron tab here. I think there's something else. Is the root USB? We want it at home. So hi, press that. Okay. So for this case, we are missing the format, and the format is almost similar to this. So I don't know. We have okay desktop. Let me just take it again. Let's have like this. Okay, that is already a folder. So let's have like Rwanda.txt. Let me try first of all the txt. So it's already 49. Let me put it at 50 so that we can see what happens. Full colon WQ. Now let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. So the first I was trying to schedule the creation of a directory called Rwanda. It never went through. I've actually converted that into a .txt file by giving an extension .txt file. And then let's see here, syntax for creating or creating or scheduling recurring jobs in Linux. See what happens. So at cron tab, this is exactly what you're supposed to use. And let me see what happens. Now, meanwhile, if we go back to this part and say ls, although it's not yet in, I think there's something, there's an issue. So let's just check it. I want to have this, the recurring for the scheduling. Okay, so we must have recurring jobs. So we must get that. Okay, I think we're missing something here. So let's try it one more time. Control Python E. So I think immediately after this, we must just push it. I give it. So I, and then give it that. Yeah, I think that is the simple we are talking about. Let me put 52. Let's just wait and see what happens. So there was that simple, which is actually like the greater sign. And let's see what happens, whether we're able to get something. So it's actually a requirement that a syntax should be followed. You see, if a forward slash is there, you must put a forward slash. If a backward slash is there, you must put a backward slash. You see, for example, I might have, let's say my code was almost like 90% or 98% correct, but there's something small that I'm actually missing. So probably it's all about the redirection tool. Yes, you can see now it's coming up, Rwanda.txt. What was I missing? Let's have a look at it. So what was I missing? I was missing what? I was missing this simple. So this is the simple I was missing. So even if I have now to bring back, let's say, let's have it as Tanzania. And then for this, I have to convert it to 53. Full colon, WQ, yeah. So you see already it is Rwanda. So we are waiting for the time to reach 1452. So 1452. Now this means what? It means that now leave ls, let's see, ls in. Now you can see that we have what? We have Tanzania. So for this particular type of job, it's called the recurring or scheduled recurring jobs using cron tab -E. And for you also to use -L, this is all about listing. You see, there's a way or a command to list the contents of, to list jobs and tasks that are scheduled only once. And we have a specific command that are used to check the contents or to check the tasks and jobs that are scheduled on a recurring basis. So this is what command. Now, if I was to probably define the word recurring based on this, it means that, you see, we do not have the here being defined. So in regardless of which month, which date, which hour, which minute you give it, it will reoccur every year. So every year on January, every year on 26th January at 1453, this command or this directory will be created every time. So this is all about what? This is all about scheduling recurring jobs. This is about scheduling recurring jobs. Now, there's also this concept of using predefined jobs. Using predefined jobs, we have these configuration files that are attached to them. And you can define it hourly, you can define it daily basis, you can define it on a monthly basis. So how do we check this? So VHI, these are now system related jobs configuration files. They are all under etc, and then I will use cron dot, let's say, hourly. You see that etc cron hourly. So if I press enter, you can see that this one is a configuration file attached to all jobs that are either defined or predefined on an hourly basis. If you want to have jobs that will happen every hour, then we can define them on this configuration file. Now, if I want to have those that happen, let's say, on a daily basis, I can have cron daily. Press enter. Again, the system understands we have a specific configuration file attached to that. Now, if I have those that happen, let's say, on a monthly basis, I also have a specific configuration file attached to tasks or jobs scheduled every month. So this one does not prevent us from working on. Now, let me take you to this particular document here and see what we're being showed here. There's something about these jobs and cron tabs. So if I scroll down, you can see now that we have these commands. When you talk about at now, it is immediately. The job will run immediately. When you talk about at now plus 15 minutes, this is what? These are scheduled jobs that are done only once. This means that it will happen 15 minutes from the current time. At now plus 4 hours, that means 4 hours from the current time. At now plus 7 days, 7 days from the current time. At noon, it means that at noon today or tomorrow, if it's already past noon. At now next hour, exactly 60 minutes from now. At now next day, at the same time tomorrow. At 17 o'clock tomorrow, that is at 5 p.m. tomorrow. At 14 or 4:45 p.m., it means that the job will be executed at 4:45 p.m. today or tomorrow if it's already past 4:45 p.m. At 3 December, you see, for example, this one up to this point, it means that on December 28, 2018 at 3 a.m., it will happen on December 28, 2018. Those are what? Those are jobs scheduled only once. Now, if you want to talk about the recurring jobs, how to schedule recurring jobs? So to schedule recurring jobs, we have to use a different command called cron tab to schedule such recurring jobs, such as if you want to back up your files to tape at midnight every now. And then you schedule recurring jobs by placing job info in a file with a specific format and submitting this file with the cron tab command. We have a daemon, the cron daemon, which checks the job information every minute and executes the recurring jobs at the specified times. So here it means that we have two configuration files, control, who can schedule cron jobs in Linux by using cron tab. We have like etc cron.allow. This contains the names of the users who are allowed to use the cron tab command to submit jobs. We have those that are denied. It means that if you're a user and you are not supposed to execute or to transact any job or task, then you should be here. So if etc cron.allow file exists, only users listed in this file can handle or can schedule cron jobs. So again, you can see that we have the minute. It has to start from the minute. It has to go to the hour of the day. It has to go to the day of the month. It has to go to the month, and then it has to end with the day of the week. Now coming down here, we have what? These are what you call predefined what? Predefined jobs. So those jobs that are predefined can be done every hour. It can be done on a daily basis. It can be done on a weekly basis. It can be done on a monthly basis. So for this, it means that these jobs would actually be executed the way it is. So you see, for example, this one is 0 minute. That is 1 minute. Now, no hour has been specified. No day of the day of the month has been specified. No month has been specified. No day of the week has been specified. So it means that it will only happen every every 1 hour. For that, it will only be executed every hour. So up to there, probably we can stop, and we shall get up in the next tutorial.